Hello guys, it's CrazyGamer12. Welcome back to another video. So what I wanted to do today is kind of show off the games in my handheld collection again. I haven't done this video in a while, and I've gotten a lot of games in the past couple of months. So I figured I'd go ahead and show you them, or show you what games I have gotten. Mainly the DS category has grown. So I have 12 DS games, 10 3DS games, 10 Game Boy Advance games, 3 Game Boy Color games, and 1 Game Boy game. So, let's start off with the DS category. I'll show you my 3DS. It's right here. The other systems are over there. They're on display. My DSi is over there. My 2 Game Boy Colors over there. And my Game Boy Advance SP is over there. Excuse me. So, let's start off with the DS category. First game we have is DK Jungle Climber. I've had this game for a while. It's actually a really good game, and I'd recommend it. It's basically a 2D platforming game. Basically, mainly requiring you to grab onto screws and hooks to get to proceed through the game, or to proceed through levels rather. It's actually a really cool, interesting platformer. This is actually the sequel to DK King of Swing for the GBA, which I want to get pretty bad. Next up we have Diddy Kong Racing for DS, or Diddy Kong Racing DS. This is the DS remake of Diddy Kong Racing for the N64. It's actually a really good game, I've heard. Can't wait to play it. This is one of the 3 DS games that I got on my trip to on my little adventure to South Salem this weekend, or to visit my grandparents. Mario Kart DS, I've had this game for a while. It's actually a really fun Mario Kart game. I really would recommend it. It's pretty fun. Mario & Luigi Bowser's Inside Story. This is another game that I got this past weekend. It's actually a really good game as well. I've heard it's really, really fun. Can't wait to play it. Mario & Luigi Partners in Time. This is pretty much the sequel to Bowser's Inside Story. It's a really fun game as well. I remember playing this game when I was younger. It's a pretty fun game. Mario Party DS. This is a really fun game as well in the Mario Party franchise. It's probably my favorite handheld Mario Party game. Mario vs. Donkey Kong Mini Land Mayhem. This is a pretty fun game as well. I guess I would recommend it. I haven't really played it that much, but it's pretty good. Sorry. Mario vs. Donkey Kong 2, March of the Minis. This is also a really good game. I remember playing this game a while back. It's a really fun game as well. Meet the Robinsons. I've never played this game before. I've had this game for a very, very long time, but never played it once. New Super Mario Brothers. Also a really fun 2D side-scrolling platforming game for the DS. One of the DS's main highlights, actually. Came out 2006, 2007, don't know the year, 2007, don't know the year, 2005, don't know the year, 2007. Sonic Classic Collection. This is the cartridge on the DS that allows you to play all 4 classic Sonic games on the DS. It's much, much improved from the inferior Sonic the Hedgehog Genesis for GBA, which I do have. I know, I do have it. But this is much better. Super Mario 64 DS, also a really fun platforming game, or 3D platforming game. It's basically a collectathon. This is the remake of the original Super Mario 64 on the Nintendo 64, which I do want to own pretty badly. But this is a pretty good remake. I've actually beaten this remake just a little while ago. Finally, it took me forever. Now into the 3DS category. We have Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D. A really, really fun game. This is the remake, the 3DS remake of the Donkey Kong Country Returns on the Wii, which I also have. This is a pretty fun game as well. It's a really convenient way. It's a really nice way to play Donkey Kong Country Returns on the go. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. Also a really, really fun puzzle and kind of game. I think this is the sequel to Luigi's Mansion on the GameCube. which is I've heard it's a pretty fun game as well. So I might check that out when I get a GameCube. Mario Kart 7, also a really fun Mario Kart game in the franchise. I love playing it. It's really fun. It's actually one of the first 3DS games that ever was released. Mario and Luigi Dream Team, also a really good game in the Mario and Luigi Mario and Luigi series. There's 6 games, I believe, in the series. This one, Partners in Time, Bowser's Inside Story, Superstar Saga for GBA, and then we have Mario and Luigi Paper Jam. Pretty fun game. Actually, no, wait, there's 5. My bad. This is a really fun game as well. I've gotten pretty far in this game. I haven't really played it in a while. I haven't played it in a while, but I used to play it a lot when I first got it. Mario Party Island Tour, also a really fun Mario Party game. Surprisingly, it's actually a lot better than Mario Party 9 and 10. But it's a pretty good game nevertheless. I actually do have the case for it, but I'm not going to show that. Mario Party Star Rush, also a really good Mario Party game. It's actually quite unique compared to the other ones, definitely, but it's definitely a really cool game as well. I've actually played it a couple times. Pokemon X, also a really fun game. I do own Pokemon Y, but I can't find it right now. But yeah, there it is. Rise of the Guardians. I've never played this game either. I've had this game for a little while, but never played it. And Super Mario 3D Land. This is also a really good Mario game to play. This was also released around the same time the 3DS came out, so it's pretty cool. Next to the Game Boy Advance category, Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, and 3. Really good remakes of their SNES originals. I play these quite often. I did a full playthrough on Donkey Kong Country on GBA, I think a little while ago. I think about a year ago. Or almost a year ago. Pretty fun game. I love Donkey Kong Country. It's one of my favorite games and franchises. So, I would wholeheartedly recommend it. If you're looking to play the classic Donkey Kong Country games on the go, I'd pick up these remakes, because they're pretty good. Second one's pretty good, and the third one's really good. Mario Kart Super Circuit, also a really good Mario Kart game to play. I really enjoy it. It's really fun to play. Metroid Fusion. I've heard this is a really, really good game, but I've actually never played it. I mean, I got it on that Christmas when I started collecting Game Boy Advance games. But, yeah, never really played it too much. Sonic the Hedgehog Genesis. This is the quote-unquote inferior version of Sonic 1 on GBA. It's a pretty bad game, if you ask me. It's not that good. The graphics are really good. That's pretty much the only good thing about it, though. The controls is terrible. The frame rate is atrocious. And the music is so below the GBA standards, for sure. I actually did a playthrough on this game, and I had kind of trouble navigating through the levels because of how bad this game is. But I did beat it and get all the Chaos Emeralds somehow. I don't even know how I got at least one of the Chaos Emeralds, considering how bad the game is to begin with. Anyways, negative over, back to positive. The Super Mario Advance games, you got 1, 2, 3, and 4. The first one is a remake of the NES, Super Mario Bros. 2, released in America, the one where you pull the vegetables out of the ground. Not the Super Mario Bros. 2, The Lost Levels, the American one. Or the remake, or the USA version of Doki Doki Panic, as some people know it as. Super Mario World, or the Super Mario Advance 2 is the remake of Super Mario World on the SNES. Really good game as well. I would totally recommend it. The third one is a remake of Yoshi's Island on SNES. Also a really good game. And the fourth one is a remake of the fan favorite Super Mario Bros. 3. Also a really, really fun game. Now into the Game Boy Color category. I only have 3 of them. Donkey Kong Country. This is the GBC version of Donkey Kong Country. It's a more pixelated version. This is also the only version of the game that has an exclusive level. Necky Nutmare. Which is found in the Chimp Caverns world of the game. Super Mario Bros. Deluxe. This is the Game Boy Color remake of the 1985 NES Super Mario Brothers. Really good way to play the most classic Mario game ever on the go. And Wario Land 3. This is pretty much the sequel to Wario Land 2 and Wario Land, or Super Mario Land 3, as most people, as you could also call it. But this is a really good game as well. Wario Land 4 is for the GBA, and I do have Wario Land Shake It, or Wario Land 5, Wario Land The Shake Dimension, as known in England and stuff. But pretty good game as well. Basically a Wario platformer. And the only Game Boy game I own, Super Mario Land 2, The 6 Golden Coins. Pretty good game as well. It's pretty much a classic Mario side-scrolling platformer. I really like it. I want to get the first game, though. I want to get the first game before I play the second one. I like to play games in order. But that's pretty much all I have to say. I just wanted to make an update on my collection, considering I haven't done an update in a while. That's about it. And I'll quickly show you guys the handheld systems real quick. Right down here, it's a little hard to see, but my GBA, or I'll pull them out so you can see them. My GBA SP, my Game Boy Color, my QE Game Boy Color, my see-through purple Game Boy Color, and then over here is my DSi, and my sister's 3DS XL that is broken. And then over here is all the Wii and Wii U games, my 2 Nintendo Switch games, and then here are the cases for the only DS game that I got in the case is New Super Mario Brothers, and then all the other ones are 3DS games, or 3DS games that came in cases. Most of the cartridges that I have on my handheld Nintendo systems are loose cartridges. They didn't come in cases, with the exception of with one DS game, a couple 3DS games, and one GBA game. Super Mario Advance 1 actually came in its original box, which is right here. Pretty cool, ain't it? Anyways, that's pretty much all I wanted to show you guys. So see you guys next time.